because it's snowing outside, today I'm going to build the chicken run in here. So I've just got to bring the lumber in. And then I can bring Kaya back in, let her run loose. You can't see, can you? Let's build us a chicken coop. So I have all the pressure treated stacked in here. I always call it chicken wire. It's poultry wire. It's a 50-foot roll by 6 feet high. And it's actually not 6 feet high. So my framework is going to be a little less than 6 feet because I want to put a kind of a roof or a protection poultry wire over the top to keep, we have hawks around here and owls and other flying things. And so I had some miscellaneous short pieces. I'll put it all down, I'll cut everything, I'll put it on the floor and you can see the cut list of what I made, what I cut for a 6 foot, a little less than 6 foot, it will be 12 feet long chicken run. So let's get started on cutting everything. So the materials, the 2x4, I got all 2x4 12s because the wall height is going to be 6 feet. So I'll just cut those in half for the vertical posts. There'll be a cross piece in the middle for catching the poultry wire on top. So let's get cutting. Really enjoying having my saw on legs. I like to do my cutting over here. Keeps all the sawdust near the door. So I'll lock those wheels, make some cuts. So in the cut list, the first thing I'm going to cut is 10 blocks at 12 inches long. Why are they 12 inches long? I don't know. They're going to be blocks, and 12 inches seemed like a good number. So cut away. What am I missing? Safety goggles, earmuffs. I have all the blocks cut. Next thing will be the vertical posts. They're going to be 5 feet 8 inches long because we want an overall height. It's actually going to be 5 feet 11 inches. Because of the chicken wire not being a full 6 feet, I want to make sure I have enough room. Feels like I'm shouting with these. But I want to make sure I have enough room for the chicken wire to go all the way up, or poultry wire, and all the way down to staple into the baseboard and the top plate. So 5 feet 8 inches. There'll be 6 of those. So that the plates and the shoe are all the same. Hey, somebody told me the other day that the bottom one is a shoe. I kind of knew that, but had forgotten it. So I'm going to start trying to call those a shoe when it's the bottom. 5 feet 8. This one was really warped, twisted. It's fun. We love to blame like the lumber yards for twisted lumber. That's what wood does. It's pretty hard to protect it from that. So the sooner it's nailed up, the better. Getting ready to cut the end shoe and top plate. So those are going to butt into the top plate and the shoe. So I need to deduct this, basically 2 of these wide. So if I just go hook on, and I'm going to make the outside wall to outside wall 5 feet 11 inches. So if I just, for a sample, set 2 of these up here and subtract this amount, I'm at 5 feet 4 inches or so. So I will cut them at 5 feet 4 inches, and there'll be 4 of those, for 2 on a shoe, 2 on a top plate. I'm marking the 2 long shoes and top plates at exactly 12 feet. I could have gone, just let them run long, but treated varies in length, this by 1/8 or 1/4, so I just wanted to make it as close as possible to start. The front and back wall can be built in any order. It's not critical, except that I'm going to assemble it in here in the shop. So I want to start so that when I drag it, I have to drag it out there. When I drag it out, I want the door entryway on the front right here. I'm just picking a number, really. I think there's nothing huge that has to go in there, but generally a 3-foot door is good, or less. I'll make it probably 3 feet. So there'll be 1 post out here, 1.5 by 3.5. So I'll add 1.5 inches, it'll be 37.5. Put the X on that side, and there'll be 1 post here. I'm not going to bother doubling it. There's not any weight bearing, and it'll just go all the way to basically what the top plate. I'll be leaving the shoe for strength, so it'll be an 1.5 inch step over. This would be number 4 into the run. Number 4 because it's so 36.5. That's a long story. 37.5. That's how I would have normally numbered it. After you add this 2x4, I'm just going to call it 36-inch front. So I'll mark that. That's the only post going on this. These 2 will be the back wall, and I'm going to center the post in this one. So it'll be 6 feet, and then you hold back 3/4 for half the thickness of this post, basically. Okay, so those are all marked out. One thing I just realized with the shoe, if there's, do this for a sample. So there'll be a post here, and I wanted to be able to use the shoe to tie this block to tie the shoe and the top plate to the piece coming out this way. My thought was that I would be able to just come in here, but I didn't allow for this being in the way. So I've got to cut 1.5 inches by 3.5 or 3 5/8 notch out of each block. Most of them. You'll see as we go how it'll become evident. So I guess the first thing will be to make those blocks. Cut the notches out. There's only 4 that I have to do this with. I ran the saw way up so it'll get almost a perfectly straight up and down cut. It's close enough. Just so you know, I made a mark right here so I knew how far to go in and stop to give me 3 5/8 right here. I just made a mark all the way up so I can tell where the saw blade should be. And I'll just come down enough to cut that off. Sometimes I roll it to give it a straight cut across the bottom. This should show you what I'm trying to do. If this was the post, the corner post, basically, I'm going to screw through this piece to attach that. And then I want to put this piece that I notched out, like that, screwed into here, so that when I do the next wall over here, it will come right under, be flush to this, and then I can screw down through there, and we've tightened the corner up. I'd like to just summarize all of the components before I put them together, just kind of so you have kind of sort of a list. These are blocks, they're 12 inches. Those will be used not at the corners. These are the corner blocks. They're the same length. I just cut that notch out. So there's 4 of the corner blocks, 6 of the blocks that will be used in the middle. Down here are the posts, the verticals. Those are 5 feet 8 inches long. There's 6 of them. Over here are the end wall shoe and plate. There's 4 of them. Yeah, you're a big help. And then there's one more on the ceiling, basically in the middle, to help keep it spread out. And then these are the top or the shoe and the plate, the long wall. That's all the pieces, plus the poultry wire and staples and screws. I think the lumber was $120, $130. The poultry wire was $75 for a 50-foot roll. So what's that, $7,500? Probably got a little over $200 in materials, and we still have to build a door. And I'm going to build a door out of treated, just so it will hold up, and hinges we'll need, and a latch to secure the door. So that's pretty much everything. Let's put it together. So the shoe and the top plate, doesn't matter which one we use, because they're identical. My shop is shrinking. Okay. As I was laying these blocks out, I realized I actually needed 8 of these, not 4. So I cut 4 more of the total of 10. So there's only, sorry Kaya, it's only 2 that are not notched. So now we can put it together. All right. I'm only going to put 1 in until I get everything assembled. Then I'll square it up and I'll put more in to secure it. And again, I'm just using 1 screw to hold it in place. So now I think we're ready to put this together. If I'm smart enough, and need to have the those braces the same way, except this time they'll be facing each other. Okay, grabbing a post, set in there. And fall. Called it. Well, let's stand it up. Okay, I have to lay this back down because I have to put the doorpost in. I forgot that. Working alone, this is probably the hardest part, to get the two walls connected up there, but let's just do it. Hey, I have a screw started here, so I'll bring it back down. I'm trying not to knock that one over. I'm on the wrong side. Trying to make it look harder than it is. Okay. Okay. There. Okay. That was maybe the hardest part. Now I have to tip this up, connect it to that one. Oh, that was easy. How about this? The wall's kind of far away. Not for long. The grunting is just for effect. It's not really hard. There. Okay, so I've got to slide it that way just a little. I want to get that nice and tight. All right, so now we'll just put all the shoes and plates on. So I put the square in those three corners, and we'll try this one here. You'd think that if three of them were square, the fourth one would be. All right. So I will put a lot more screws in these to secure it before it heads out. Going to do just two more top plates. One reason I wanted to put these blocks on the bottom is so I can just set this up on top and it has a resting place. With my hat on, well, I'm pretty sure, I guess I'll be ducking. So we have a 6 by 12 area. I was checking to see how many square feet a chicken needs typically in the chicken run, and some say 8 square feet, some say 10 square feet. So this being 6 by 12 is 72 square feet. Theoretically, I could have 7.2 chickens. I only have 4, but we all know about chicken math, right? So over here will be the door, the entry door that'll open up. The chicken coop will be set somewhere in here on the outside, and I'll just cut a hole for the trap door, for the ramp for the chicks to come out into this. This, I would appreciate input. This right now is planned to be sitting right on the ground. I may just dig a little trench to bring it down some, but how secure do I need to make this so that things don't dig underneath and come in? It will have a roof, a chicken wire roof, so to speak. So let me know about that if you don't mind. I'm going to start with the poultry wire first on the roof part, just because once I get the wall stuff on, it's going to be hard to move around in and out. Grab me a pocket full of staples. Ain't no hawk going to get in here. Okay, there's the roof portion. All right, roof is done. Roof, it's not really a roof. That roof leaks pretty bad. Okay, walls are next. This isn't quite like dealing with house wrap, is it? Corner. I'm just securing the top at the corners kind of thing. Now I'll go back and fix the bottom. Here. Looks pretty snug. Of course, you can't see this, but I'll be coming across your bow in a minute. Okay. There, I'm going to stop at the door because I have to make the door separately. So now I'll nail the rest of this off, staple it off, cutting off the last of the poultry wire for around the doorway. And it's pretty, I'll finish stapling everything outside. Right now I just need to get this out of my shop. I was hoping Kaya would be up in time to help me pull this out. I'm going to hook a rope on and just tug it like an old mule. I'm going to use my famous double. If you loop it around twice and pull it through, supposedly it unties easier. Don't break, don't break. Oh, okay. Go on outside and take a look. The chicks are squawking just a little bit, not too bad. So I want to head over that way so I can angle it around. Watch me go flat on my butt. Starting to dig in the back. I wondered if it would. I do feel like a workhorse. It's not that heavy. No, it's not. Pull the rear end around. This is how they do it on the homestead, the Kenstead. It's certainly how we do it on the Kenstead. I'm hitting my greenhouse again. There it goes. Well, nobody got hurt. That was good. I want to pull the coop probably over into here, maybe 3 feet away from the greenhouse. Then the chicken coop, move the pen over within 2 or 3 feet of the greenhouse. Then I can move the chicken coop straight back. So I kind of propped it up. I'll just drag it. Something like that. Can't wait to see the little chicks out here. So I think the coop is lined up about where I want it. I want it to be kind of on, well, just the direction it's heading.